Hello everyone, welcome to LyFiveElements. I'm Arvin and I'm glad you are here. My goal is to teach you how to read Bazi in the simplest way possible so you can understand your own life path. Let's unlock the secrets of your destiny together. In the last lesson, we learned about the direct wealth. Today we will talk about the 7 killings. I will be breaking it down in the simplest way possible so everyone can follow along. If anything is unclear, feel free to drop a comment below. I would love to discuss and explore these topics with you. And for those of you who want to understand your path to chat but find the learning process too complicated, you can always message me for a one-on-one consultation. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Your support truly motivates me to keep sharing this knowledge. Let's dive into parts together. In our previous lesson, we shared that every Bazi chart contains 10 key stars, divided into 4 auspicious stars, 4 inauspicious stars, and 2 neutral ones. We already covered the direct resource, eating god, direct officer, and direct wealth. These 4 auspicious stars generally represent positive aspects in a person's life. Today we will be discussing the first of the 4 inauspicious stars, the 7 killings. Let's take a look at how it can impact a person's life. In Bazi chart, when you see the Chinese character qi sha or only sha, it refers to 7 killings in English. First, let's talk about how 7 killings is formed. Let's start with the concept that the day master represents yourself. The element that controls or overcomes you is known as direct officer and 7 killings. In the previous lesson, we learned about when yang controls yin or yin controls yang. This creates the direct officer. Here is the exact opposite. When yang controls yang or yin controls yin, it creates the 7 killings. Let's take Geng metal as an example. We know fire overcomes metal. When Geng metal, which is yang metal, is controlled by Ping fire, which is yang fire, this creates the relationship of 7 killings. Since yang fire overcomes yang metal, Geng, Ping fire becomes the 7 killings for Geng metal. I've listed out the 7 killings for each day master here for you to reference. We have already learned that opposite polarity clashes, yin and yang, are gentler, while same polarity clashes, yin and yin, or yang and yang, are more aggressive. This is why the ancients named it 7 killings. Its abbreviation is a single character, kill. Let's observe this based on the list. Starting with the Jia Wood Day Master. If we count 7 characters down, we get Geng metal. Geng metal is a yang metal which clashes with yang wood. So it represents 7 killings. Similarly, for the Yi Wood Day Master, counting 7 characters down gives us Sin metal. Sin metal is yin metal, which clashes with yin wood, so it also represents 7 killings. The clash occurs after 7 characters, which is how the concept is derived. 7 killings represents the sick god star. Wherever 7 killings is located in a chart, you can generally deduce that this area will be prone to illness. 7 killings represent certain negative traits such as being domineering, impulsive, temperamental, willful, stubborn, competitive, combative, vengeful, extreme, rebellious, reckless, and unwilling to listen to advice, making it easy to create enemies. However, 7 killings also has positive qualities such as strong execution, a sense of justice, decisiveness, courage in facing challenges, the ability to break through difficult situations, and strong willpower and drive. Its influence represents petty people, enemies, and illness. A suitable career choice for this person would be in a military or combat-related field. What does that mean? In ancient times, it referred to being a general or a soldier. In modern times, it includes professions like joining the military, becoming a police officer, working in the court system, or any job that involves a strong sense of authority or discipline. Earlier, we discussed the direct officer star. It represents an opposite polarity clash, which carries a sense of restraint and subtlety. That's why the direct officer signifies being a leader, the one in charge. In contrast, seven killings is actually considered the indirect officer. Due to its more aggressive and forceful nature, it's referred to as seven killings, and is more suited for the role of a second in command. It represents figures such as soldiers, police officers, judicial officials, those in law enforcement agencies, the man's son and woman's lover. Here, we are going to share two things: the five elements and their corresponding body parts. You can see that each element corresponds to different body parts. Jia wood represents the liver. Yi wood represents the gallbladder. Ping fire represents the small intestine. Ping fire represents the heart. Wu earth represents the stomach. Ji earth represents the spleen. Geng metal represents the large intestine. Xin metal represents the lungs. Ren water represents the bladder. And Gui water represents the kidneys. What this means is that the position of seven killings in a chart can indicate which part of the body is prone to illness. For example, if seven killings is on Jiao, the liver may be prone to health issues. If it is on Ren, the bladder may be at risk. If it's on Ji, the spleen could be affected. This knowledge is important to understand because the position of seven killings can provide insights into potential health concerns related to specific organs. In Bazi chart, the five elements correspond to specific body parts. When seven killings is associated with a particular element or character, it can indicate potential health issues related to that part of the body. When the palace positions correspond to specific body parts and are influenced by the eight characters, forming the four pillars in a person's Bazi chart. Each pillar consists of a heavenly stem and an earthly branch, making a total of eight characters. Here's a breakdown of the body parts corresponding to the positions in the four pillars. Year stem represents the head. Year branch represents the neck. Month stem represents the chest. Month branch represents the abdomen. Day master represents the lower abdomen. Day branch represents the buttocks. Hour stem represents the thighs. Hour branch represents the calves and feet. When the seven killings appear in a particular position, it indicates a susceptibility to illnesses or issues in that part of the body. For example, if seven killings fall in the year stem, there may be a tendency toward head-related issues, migraines, head injuries. If seven killings fall in the month stem, it might indicate potential problems with the lungs or chest area. This method of examining the positions in the Bazi chart to predict health-related vulnerabilities is often noted for its accuracy and can be verified when reading charts for others. It provides an additional layer of understanding and insight into a person's physical health tendencies based on their chart. Let's discuss the other meanings of seven killings. When seven killings appears in a specific element, that element is more likely to experience health issues. Similarly, when seven killings fall in a particular position, that area of the body is also prone to illness. Seven killings is also known as the god of life-taking, indicating its potential to cause significant challenges or harm. Seven killings is the natural enemy of the day master, like a vicious spirit that seeks to take life. Therefore, when analyzing a Bazi chart and determining a person's fate, the first thing to look at is seven killings. Only by properly managing and understanding the influence of seven killings can we proceed to assess a person's wealth and status. If seven killings is not well handled, there is no life to speak of, let alone talk about wealth or prosperity. If seven killings is not restrained, it can cause sudden disasters. When it appears in the heavenly stamps, it signifies unexpected calamities, potentially leading to injury, disability, or even sudden death. In the earthly branches, seven killings manifest as chronic illnesses, gradually affecting the body over time. However, if seven killings is properly controlled, it can lead to favorable outcomes. There are three situations where seven killings can be restrained. The first, when the day master is strong, it is not afraid of seven killings. Instead of being harmed, the day master benefits from the challenge posed by seven killings. This pattern is called the body and killings balance. In this case, the day master can handle seven killings, using its energy to their advantage. The second, if the day master is weak, but has the presence of a direct resource, this can mitigate the impact of seven killings. The direct resource acts as a protective force, keeping the day master safe and neutralizing the negative effects of seven killings. Additionally, seven killings nourishes the direct resource, which in turn supports the day master. This creates a harmonious cycle where seven killings is transformed into a helpful force, a pattern known as resource and killings generating. The third, if the day master is weak but there is an eating god in the chart, the eating god can control seven killings. However, the key is that there should be no indirect resource present to harm the eating god, as the indirect resource weakens the eating god, which in turn affects its ability to control seven killings. If the eating god is intact and able to suppress seven killings, this creates the eating god controls killing pattern, which is also a favorable situation. Here, seven killings is effectively turned into a positive force for the day master. In all these cases, seven killings, instead of being harmful, becomes a source of strength and benefit for the individual. If a person has an excess of seven killings in their natal chart and encounters seven killings again during their luck pillars or annual pillars, it can indicate a situation where they attract the attention of law enforcement, such as the police, judicial authorities, or regulatory agencies. This can manifest in various ways, from minor incidents like receiving a fine for running a red light to more serious matters where authorities, such as a government agency or the police, might investigate you, suggesting a potential legal issue or misconduct. In essence, an abundance of seven killings, particularly if it reoccurs in the luck or annual pillars, can lead to troubles with authority figures or legal situations. In the luck pillars or annual pillars, if the natal chart does not have seven killings but contains the direct officer, encountering too much of the direct officer during the luck or annual pillars can transform it into seven killings. This is because the direct officer also controls the day master. And when it becomes too overwhelming or harsh, it takes on the qualities of seven killings. When this happens, this could lead to situations involving law enforcement or regulatory authorities similar to the effects of seven killings. The excessive direct officer can bring about situations where authorities such as police or judicial bodies intervene or cause trouble, just as seven killings can create conflict with power figures or legal issues. If the natal chart only has seven killings without direct officer, the person is suited to be a second in command, not a leader, because direct officer represents the leader, while seven killings represents the second in command. However, seven killings isn't always negative. There's a saying, smarter than a hurting officer, sharper than the 7 killings. People with hurting officer and 7 killings are often smart and clever, while those without them may appear less sharp. In a woman's chart, 7 killings represents her lover, while direct officer represents her husband. Since 7 killings is a form of indirect officer, it signifies a lover or an affair. Having too many 7 killings in a woman's chart is not ideal, as it suggests the possibility of having a husband at home, while also having affairs outside, which could lead to complications. Another point is that without 7 killings in the chart, it indicates that a man may have difficulty having sons, as 7 killings represents a man's son. For women, the absence of 7 killings means there may not be lovers or affairs. Moreover, regardless of gender, if there is no 7 killings, the person's character tends to be too gentle. If someone wrongs them, they may simply swallow their anger and avoid retaliating. Thus, while 7 killings should not be excessive, it also shouldn't be absent. A balanced amount is ideal. Too many can create excessive aggression, but too little can result in an overly kind nature, making them prone to being taken advantage of. This is a Bazi chart. Let's look at where 7 killings is located. 7 killings is in his jia, and the 7 killings energy is amplified by its relationship with the other pillars. Just like how we observe the relationship between the day master and the month pillar to assess the day master's strength, we also need to examine the relationship between the day master and 7 killings to understand its influence. You can see that the day pillar is Zi water, which nourishes wood, enhancing the power of 7 killings. The month branch contains water, which further nourishes the wood. Additionally, the year branch also has water to support the wood. From this, you can directly conclude that this person is likely to have liver issues. Moreover, the strength of the 7 killings is so strong that the liver problem is likely to be quite severe. Why liver? Because Jia represents liver. In addition, there's the 7 killings here at the year branch. What does the 7 killings represent? It represents his neck. The year stem represents the head, and the year branch represents the neck. If the neck has 7 killings, it could indicate a potential issue with the cervical spine, such as cervical spondylosis. Therefore, from the 7 killings in his chart, we can deduce that this person is likely to have issues with both his liver and cervical spine. Looking at this person's chart, you can see when they might encounter issues with law enforcement. At the age of 14, when they enter the Jia Xu Lak pillar, where there is a 7 killings element. Later in the Jia Yin Lak pillar, which corresponds to 2034, when he is 15 years old, you see the presence of 7 killings again. Additionally, certain months like January and September align with the 7 killings, making it likely that during those months, they might encounter issues with public security or law enforcement, or even suffer from a serious illness. This is how 7 killings can be applied. Each palace where 7 killings appears correspond to a specific part of the body, indicating where the person might experience health problems. For example, if 7 killings is in the feet palace, this person could suffer from food-related ailments like athlete's foot or injuries. By analyzing the 7 killings in this chart, we can predict issues like cervical spine problems, liver health, and potential foot injuries. Today, we learned about 7 killings, a very challenging start. This concept is quite extensive, so feel free to watch the video multiple times to fully grasp the concept. In the next lesson, we will introduce the indirect resource. Don't miss out. Please subscribe and share to join us on this incredible journey of discovery. Your support fuels our passion to keep creating. Any questions or need personalized guidance? Leave us a comment or get in touch. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for being part of the LY5Elements family. If anything is unclear, feel free to drop a comment below. I would love to discuss and explore these topics with you. And for those of you who want to understand your Bazi chart but find the learning process too complicated, you can always message me for a one-on-one consultation. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Your support truly motivates me to keep sharing this knowledge. See you in the next lesson.